Everyone thinks mirrorless are the future because they're faster, lighter, and smarter, but I believed that too until I dusted off an old Nikon D850 and put it to the test. And what I discovered was so strange and unexpected that it almost made me question everything I knew about photography in general. But that's not even the part that shocked me the most. Because by the end of this, I'm going to show you why a camera that's nearly half a decade old is still outperforming almost every mirrorless option that I've tried. And also in ways that you'll never guess, and how it changed the way I see photography, gear, and even creativity itself. I've been a photographer for years now, chasing the latest gear, upgrading, testing every new mirrorless model that drops, but I've never really challenged myself like this before. No new lenses, no tricks, just me and a DSLR that many people think is quote unquote obsolete. And trust me, the stakes were high because this wasn't just a gear test. It was kind of personal. I had to figure out if all the hype around mirrorless was worth it, or if we've been missing something bigger this entire time. So there was no prep, no shortcuts, just an idea that sounded brilliant at 2 o'clock in the morning. And that creeping feeling that I might regret this entire experiment. And you'll definitely understand why a little bit later, because things will get pretty messy in this one. So stick around to the end because this one should be quite interesting. So I pulled out the D850 and I started shooting, and immediately nothing felt right. The camera is heavy, bulky, and the autofocus is nowhere near as instant as any mirrorless setup. You really do struggle to find rhythm, and every shot was slower than expected. And I kind of just kept thinking, why am I even doing this? And that's when it started to get worse. Colors looked slightly off in my first few frames, my workflow felt pretty antiquated, and I even dropped it. And I did panic a little bit, but it's true. That tiny adrenaline spike reminded me why I usually go mirrorless. Have you ever struggled with gear that you thought you would love? So comment down below because I would want to know if anyone else has battled the nostalgia of an old favorite while feeling the pull of the shiny new stuff. And also, if you're enjoying this so far, hit the like and subscribe button because I'm trying to hit 10,000 by Christmas and we are just at around 6,000 right now. So your support would be much appreciated, but let's not waste time and stay on topic. So after struggling for way too long, something finally started to click, and I mean this literally and metaphorically. I stopped obsessing over speed and tech specs and started paying attention to what actually mattered, which was image quality, dynamic range, and reliability. And here's the crazy part. The D850 with this full frame sensor, insane resolution, and near perfect color rendering started producing images that no mirrorless camera I own could match. Every frame had depth, texture, and tonal accuracy, and it really made me rethink that the quote-unquote future is mirrorless mantra. And that was when things really began to change. But just when I thought I was starting to understand the D850's magic, something unexpected happened, of course. I got a message from a fellow photographer, someone I hadn't spoken to in years, and he said, "You're testing the wrong metric. Try shooting in a way you've forgotten how to shoot." And to me, this was kind of cryptic because I didn't understand what the hell he was talking about at first. But after a little bit of thought and consideration, it ended up shifting the experiment entirely. I was rediscovering why I started photographing in the first place. Not for gear or for specs, but for the craft itself, capturing light, composition, and the story that left behind in a frame. And yeah, that hit way harder than I had expected. And so of course, I dealt with it the only way I knew how. By taking a selfie with the D850 and laughing at how serious I was at myself. So from that moment on, everything has shifted. I stopped racing for the next autofocus update, I stopped comparing megapixels, and no more second guessing, no more holding back. I just went out, fully committed, experimenting with light, motion, landscapes, portraits, and the results were pretty mind-blowing. The D850 wasn't just quote-unquote good for an old DSLR, it was outperforming mirrorless cameras in ways that I really wouldn't have predicted. So after using this for a while, I have finally reached the moment that everything had been building towards. I set up a shoot combining low light, high contrast, and fast movement, a scenario most mirrorless cameras will really struggle with, and the D850 just nailed almost every shot. Focus, color, detail, most of it was perfection. Even the subplot snapped into space, and that cryptic message a friend of mine sent to me, it was really just about slowing down and respecting the process, and just trusting the fundamentals that these DSLR cameras really bring to the table that most cameras these days completely overlook. The camera didn't just outperform the competition, it reminded me why I became a photographer in the first place. So at the beginning, I said this camera still outperforms almost any mirrorless option, and I thought I was wrong, but I wasn't. I just didn't understand what that really meant until now. It's not about speed, hype, or specs on paper. It's about the image, the craft, and the experience. And the D850 still delivers that better than almost anything else that I've tried, even to this modern day. So let me ask you, what do you think this means for the future of photography? Is mirrorless the ultimate, or have we been chasing the wrong metrics? Drop your thoughts below, because I would love to know what you all have to say about this. And also, let me know what you use to shoot on. What is your camera of choice or cameras of choice and what you use them for? Let's just have a conversation about it in the comment section down below. And if you want to see where this journey has taken me already, you might want to tune in to my most recent video, because that's one that it gets a lot more in depth about the hands-on process of using this camera. But that's really all I have for you. I appreciate you for watching if you made it this far, and of course leave a like and subscribe. Again, we're trying to hit 10,000 by Christmas, so if you could hit the subscribe button and support me, that would be great. I would really appreciate that, and maybe we can accomplish some pretty big things for the rest of this year going into next. But again, I appreciate you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.